Now, we return to Profiles and Legends.
Not many people immigrate to America because they failed a high school entrance exam. But that's exactly how Greg Kalevas, co-owner of Chris's Steakhouse, wound up in Fayetteville. Not many people immigrate to America because they failed a high school entrance exam. But that's exactly how Greg Kalevas, co-owner of Chris's Steakhouse, wound up in Fayetteville.
One night, my father came home late, about 3 o'clock in the morning, and my uncle Pete Scanteris came from America there, and he kind of asked my father, if you don't like, if you want to come to America, let me know. I signed the paper, sponsor, bring you up here. So that night, my mother and my father were talking, and they said, if Greg doesn't pass the test to go to this high school, like Dino, my older brother, was there, because they had to go to high school, have to take a test. He said, let's get out of here, go to United States of America. And if he passes, we're not going.
Knowing what was at stake, the young Kalevas intentionally failed the exam. 6 months later, the Kalevas family arrived in the United States. Greg was 14 years old at the time and immediately got a job after school washing dishes at the Dixie Diner. He spoke very little English.
I was kind of stressed in the beginning, but then I met a lot of good friends, and they helped me with the language. The girls were helping me, and guys were helping me. But I spent most of my time working. I didn't spend most of my time in school.
Working in a restaurant was nothing new to Greg. In fact, his father had operated a small restaurant in Greece, and Greg was responsible for raising rabbits for the menu.
I was in charge. He put me in charge to raise, we used to raise chickens and rabbits. And I got up to about 95 rabbits, I think 95 or 97 rabbits. I was trying to get them 100. Then we kill them, of course. Somebody called in and said they want a rabbit stew. I had to go up there and say, go get your rabbit, kill one, and clean it, bring it to him, and he cooks it for the people.
At the Dixie Diner, Greg was working 30 to 40 hours a week, making 60 cents an hour. After 2 years, still in school, Greg got another job at the Grecian Gate restaurant. But the Grecian Gate closed its doors 3 years later. The owner, John Poulos, though, had noticed the hard-working Kalevas boy and recommended him to his cousin, Chris Poulos, who owned Chris's Steakhouse.
He said, I got a good kid working for me there. He said, it's a terrific kid. And I told him I needed somebody to depend on him. I needed to train someone to be here, to depend on him. Because dependable help is better than good help.
So, Greg Kalevas met with Chris Poulos.
I say, if you want to stay here, learn the job, I give you a change in a couple of years, in 2 3 years, because he was 18 years old. Little kid, that's 18 years old.
Chris Poulos quickly began training his young protege.
He started me right behind that grill over there, putting potatoes on the steaks, put onion rings on the steaks, mark them medium rare, whatever he told me. Then that's how I started, just doing little, not washing dishes, but helping him out, putting the steaks out.
Eventually, a year later, he started learning how to cook, he started learning how to cut steaks, he started learning the business.
It didn't take long for Chris to know he'd chosen the right person. Within a year, he felt comfortable enough to travel to Australia, leaving the restaurant in Greg's hands.
If you tell Greg, I want you to go do this and this and this, well, Greg will go and do it faster than you expect to get done, and perfect. That's something you don't get everywhere.
A few years later, Chris Poulos lived up to his word that he would take care of Greg's future by making him a 50% partner in the business.
He could have given me easy 40%, he could have given me 30%, and it's hard to find people like that.
It made no difference. It's like a second citizen to get somebody 49% or 40%. He was doing just as much work as I was doing. And if I needed him to do it more, he was willing to do it.
In 1993, Greg married Effie Luludis, whose family was from Greece, and who, like Greg, loved the Greek traditions. They have 3 children and plan to teach them the Greek language and customs. Although he never attended college, Greg Kalevas is one of Fayetteville's most loyal NC State supporters, hosting events on the Wolfpack's behalf year-round. Now, 25 years after starting at Chris's Steakhouse, Greg Kalevas knows his family made the right move in coming to America.
Here you have the greatest opportunities in the world. People fall in the faces, chapter 11s, chapter 7s, stealing from governor, robbing people, killing people, and you know what? You get the next chance. You get another chance.
Aware of his good fortune, Greg looks forward to giving someone else the opportunity that was given him.
But one day, I'm gonna slow down and I'm gonna do exactly what Chris done to me. I'm gonna bring somebody in here, if I can work it like I used to anymore, and give somebody opportunity, the same way Chris gave me the opportunity to make money and be here. I'm gonna get a kid, younger generation, and bring him in here, because I don't know if my son wants to do it. My son's only 5 years old, 15 years down the road. He might not, who knows.
And Greg has a pretty good idea of how he'll one day recognize Chris Poulos for all of his generosity.
I said, I'm gonna take that bull down one day from the top of the roof and put a statue up there.